Hello, everyone. In this session, we want to discuss security auditing. Companies use different strategies for security auditing. One of the strategies that we use within IT is the recording of user activities. For example, we want to find out if there's someone in the company that tried to access data that they did not have permission to access. We want to find out if someone has been trying to log into the network when they are not a user on the network. What we do with security auditing is to provide policies that will track the user activity. Recording of these security-related events is referred to as security auditing. There are 9 basic audit policies that we need to look at. We find the audit policies by going through computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, local policies, audit policy. These policies that you will find allow you to configure security audit policy settings for a broad set of behaviors. Once you record events, these events go into the security log, which is located in Event Viewer. We want to take a look at Event Viewer. In Server Manager, we want to click on Tools, then we want to click on Event Viewer. In Event Viewer, we want to click on Windows Logs, and then click on Security. Notice that the first event is highlighted. Let's take a look below in the Details pane. You can actually see the security ID, the account name, the account domain, and the logon ID. Let's take a look at another security event. Notice that the security event has the keyword would either be audit success or audit failure, the date and the time, the source, the event ID, and the task. So our first task here that's highlighted is when an account was logged off. So if once someone logged off of an account, that event got logged in the security log, and you can see the event here at the top and the details at the bottom. Let's look at a logon event. We're going to look at event 4624 here, which is a logon event. So we're going to click it so that we can see the details. And you can see here an account was successfully logged on. So the audit policy here would tell us if someone tried to log on to the network or computer, whether they were successful or unsuccessful, the event would still be logged. So this is the screen event viewer, where after we have recorded the events, we can come and we can find out who logged on, what time they logged on, and the task that the person attempted to do or successfully did. Now, we are going to configure an audit policy for a folder. And we're going to go into Group Policy to do so. We're going to click on Tools, Group Policy Management. We want to expand Contoso and right click on Group Policy Objects and click on New. We want to call the policy Audit for Sales Data. So we're going to type Audit for Sales Data, and then we're going to press Enter. Here at the new GPO, we can see we have the name Audit for Sales Data. So we're going to click on OK to close that box. Now within Group Policy Management, we want to expand that Group Policy Management node so that we can see our policy. And there it is, Audit for Sales Data. We want to right click on that policy and we want to click on Edit. Now we're going to go through the path that would lead us to the audit policies. So we're going to go Computer Configuration, Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, Local Policies, and here we have Audit Policy. So we're going to double click on Audit Policy. Now the policy that we want to choose here is Audit Object Access, because that policy is the one that would let us record when someone tries to access a folder. And this is a non-active directory folder. And the folder that we are going to be looking at is a shared folder called Sales. So we want to open this policy, Audit Object Access. And the first thing we want to do is to click on Define these policy settings. So we're going to go ahead and notice that we have two choices here. We can record if the person successfully accessed the folder, or we can record if the person tried to access the folder but was not successful. So we're going to click both of them because we can choose both or we can choose one of them. So we're going to click on Success, and we're also going to click on Failure. I want us to click here on the Explain tab. The Explain tab has an explanation for the policy. And here we see if success auditing is enabled, an audit entry is generated each time any account successfully accesses a non-directory object. So every time someone tries to access the folder, whether they were successful or not, then that event is going to be logged within Event Viewer in the security logs. Let's just close the audit object box. We're going to click on OK. Now we want to now look at the folder that the person is going to try to access, because the audit object access has two steps. It's a two-step process. First, you have to come into Group Policy Management and you have to define that policy. But second, you actually have to go to the folder and turn on auditing on that folder. So we want to close the Group Policy Management editor box here and close Group Policy Management again. And we want to go and look for that folder. So we're going to click on the file icon in the taskbar. We're going to click on local disk C because that's where the folder is. And the folder is called Sales Data. So we're going to right click on that folder. We're going to click on the properties for that folder. We want to click on Security. And we want to click on Advanced. Now, we want to click now on the Auditing tab So we're going to click on auditing, and then we're going to click add, because what we want to do here is to select the individual or the person. If we know who the person is that has been trying to access that folder, then we can find the person's name and we can add that person. If we don't know who that person is, then you can always add the everyone group, so that anyone who goes to that folder, that event would be logged within Event Viewer. So we're going to click here on Select a Principal, and we're going to search for the person that we want to record their events. So you click on Advanced, Find Now, and we're going to go for Ben Smith. So we want to know whenever Ben Smith tries to access that folder. So you click on Ben Smith and you click on OK. Click on OK to close the box. And here we see that we can set different permissions. We want to click on OK to close that box. Want to click on OK a second time. And we want to close the sales data property box. We're going to close local DC. And we want to go back into group policy management because we want to look at some of the other policies. So remember, with object access, you have two steps. One, you have to configure the group policy, and two, you have to turn on auditing on the folder. You have to add the group or the person whose events or whose actions that you want to record. And then all you have to do is to go into Event Viewer, look for the event, and then you will see all the details, the user ID, the event itself, whether it was a log on or log off. So we're going to click on Group Policy Management here. We're going to expand the Contoso domain, expand group policies, and we're going to edit the group policy again. Computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, local policies, audit policy. We're going to go and look at this first policy, audit account logon events. So we're going to open that policy. We're going to define the policy settings. We're going to go with success. Let's click on the Explain tab to see what this policy will allow us to do. So this policy is going to record the events if a user who has an account tries to log on to the domain. So that's what will happen, and then when the person tries to log on to the domain, whether they're successful or not successful, depending on which one you tick off in the group policy management editor, that is going to be logged within the event viewer. Let's look at another one, audit account management. Here, we want to click on define these policy settings. We're going to click on failure. We also want to click on success. Now we want to click on the explain tab. For this policy, we want to record anyone who tries to create a user, create an object, create a group, anything that we would do while we're managing an account, move an account, delete an account. Once we choose this policy, and just now we chose success and failure. So when someone tries to do account management within Active Directory, if they're not explicitly given permission to, then that is going to be logged in Event Viewer in the security log. Let's close the Audit Account Management property box, and let's look at Audit Directory Services Access. Again, we're going to define this policy, and we want to click on Success, and then we're going to click on the Explain tab, and this one will record events for anyone trying to create, modify, change objects within Active Directory. Again, you either can choose success or failure, or you can choose both of them. So it says here the security setting determines whether the OS audit user attempt to access Active Directory objects. So any object in Active Directory will be recorded. Let's close this box and let's take a look at Audit Logon events. We define the policy and we click on the Explain tab here. And this one will record if a person tries to log on to his or her computer, that event will be recorded. We already did object access. So we want to go to audit policy change. So we define these settings and we're going to click on success and then the explain tab. And for this one, you're going to be auditing if a person tried to configure a policy. And we're looking here at the user rights assignment policy. So if someone tried to change or create a policy within user rights, it will be recorded and logged into the security log. We can also look here at audit system events. We define that policy and we can click on success here and explain tab again. If someone tries to turn on or turn off, start up or shut down, if someone tries to change the system time, all of those events will be logged within Event Viewer. And we can go through a number of these policies, and those are the 8 basic policies. We have also advanced security policies, which are much more extensive than these 8 basic policies, where we can record user activities so that that recording will show up in the Event Viewer. We want to end this session and we're going to look next at the advanced policy settings